What's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to be working on our 5th gen Ram 3500, and we're going to be installing a center console. So here's the center console we're going to be putting in this video. Let's get started. So I went ahead and did all the nitty gritty work. I'm actually upgrading the seats as well. Also just put out a video on the headliner if you guys want to upgrade your headliner to the one with the speakers, and also the headliner. If you get one of these headliner harnesses, chances are it's going to have the extra wire that goes for the camera here in our third taillight. So anyways, as far as this goes, you can get away with just taking out the passenger seat and then taking out your third jump seat. But like I said, I ended up selling my seats, so it's a blank slate to start off with. So getting straight into this, one of the biggest controversies, and hopefully something I'm gonna debunk on this video, this truck is a 2020 Tradesman. See this plug here? This goes originally to the jump seat here. A lot of guys will go online and they'll buy a harness that extends this all the way to the front, because we're gonna end up taking this stuff out and then our center console is gonna run right into there. But if you take a look, if you give this wire a little tug, you're gonna see that it actually goes right through here. So we should be able to backfeed it through here, like you can see here. So we can actually pull this back through the carpet, and that will bring us over to here, and that is where it actually connects. So hoping I can debunk that or get to the bottom of that without having to buy anything extra. A couple of extra things you're gonna see here. There's some tape over top of this bolt hole. That's one of the bolt holes we're gonna need for the bracketry, but we're also gonna have to pop this off, and I'll show you guys my center console, and we'll get straight into it. All right, so after backfeeding this plug out from underneath the carpet, you can see it's going to reach all the way to the front here. Or also at some point, I know I keep saying that we're going to be upgrading all kinds of stuff, but I am going to be upgrading the dash also at some point. And on the center console trucks, this plug actually comes from the dash, and then there's all sorts of added features. I'm hoping this is enough to at least get our USB ports powered up and just the basics, but eventually I want to be able to activate all the other features, because I'm putting limited seats in here front and rear. And pretty cool, I'll show you guys more in the other videos, but they actually have these trucks pre-wired for all the heated and cooled rear seats. So there's the one plug there, and the other one is right here for the back seat. So it's all pre-wired, so I'm gonna try and get all that stuff working for myself and document the process for you guys. So that's forward there. Let's pop off this trim panel here with our USB, because that needs to come out. All right, so this bottom piece, it's held on by speed clips. Just work your way around the edge. This pops off. Same thing with the next trim piece. This one all has speed clips. Pops out just like that. There's all your speed clips there. If we're going too fast, pause the video. I want to keep moving along for everybody that just wants to get this done like me. So then you're gonna see down here, we got a either 7 or 8 mil. So get those out, and then we should be able to pop the next section out. Okay, and it is in fact a 7 mil, not an 8. I don't know why these trucks kind of use a combination of both. Sometimes think it's a 7, other times an 8, but it is a 7, so let's pop those out. All right, once you get those two 7 mils out, then you're gonna be able to pop this off. Again, just speed clips, and then we gotta disconnect our USB and then the power for our media hub right there. Okay, next up, we're gonna go over the brackets. So you will have this existing 13 mil from your jump seat, 13 mil head bolt, I should say, and then remove the tape off of this bolt, and then you're gonna have to find yourself one more bolt. And it's a 13 mil head, and put it in there. And then up here, you are going to need these OEM clips that go into your dash, because this bracket, it has the arrow right there, it says up. This one has to go right there. So you could probably use some nuts and bolts if you wanted to save some money. Really no reason why you couldn't, but if you have these clips, these are the ones that you're gonna need to take from the donor dash or buy them new from Mopar. To keep it in the spirit of the at-home do-it-yourselfer, here is a large washer flanged 10 mil nut, 6 millimeter threads, and we're gonna put this on the back right there, and then we'll put the bolt through. And also, because the inserts that I tried to reuse, they were just impossible, and didn't end up, I don't think you can really take them out and repurpose them. They didn't want to hold either, so I'm going to do it the same way that you guys can do it at home. All right, so using our nut and bolt method, this thing is on here beautifully. It's got locating pins, so it will center itself just with whatever hardware you happen to find. And over here, just found myself an M8 And we're gonna go ahead and put that in, reuse that bolt. Okay, this bracket is now secured. And also there is an orientation you'll see right here front, and it has an arrow right there stamped on the bracket. So that's ready to go. And then the other thing we gotta do is remove this vent. So there's a push pin here that we have to lift it off of, and then we gotta slide this out from underneath of the carpet, because our center console is gonna have a corresponding duct that meets up to there. Okay, so there it is. You can see there's a push pin there and here. Lift it up and then slide it out from underneath the carpet, and then you can press this down on your carpet, because we're gonna be sliding the new one over top of that duct to get to the rear seat vents. All right, so here is my center console. I ended up scoring on a limited, along with a bunch of other limited parts that ended up getting parted out from a crashed Copart vehicle. But for the purposes of this video, we're just going to get the console in here, and then hopefully at least get our charging and USB ports working. We'll see what ends up working. Like I said, I'm going to go through this with you guys. There's a ton of extra features and functions on this one that I don't know how much we'll get working without a little bit more effort. We've got a CD player, which I really don't care for, but it came with it. We got the wireless charging pad here, and then there's also at the back, you'll notice the 115 volt output here, heated seats. I think we probably could put a cooled seat option, and then your charging ports back here. So you're gonna see here, these bolt holes, they're gonna line up to there. And then on this bracket, you got your bolt holes back here. So everything's gonna slide into place. Also, we'll have to be conscious of our duct, that it slides over top of there. But what we want to try to do is, here is the harness from here that we backfed through the carpet. And we're gonna plug it in to the front here. So here is the harness from our console. That's gonna click in. And then this here, we got the USB, so we'll plug the USB in. This one we will not plug anything into because it's for the media hub, but we're gonna see what happens there with just those. All right, so the USB is plugged in, and then our other plug right here is plugged in. So everything reaches. Let's slide this forward till this meets there, and then we should be able to move on to the next step. Okay, and I was checking out another video that did recommend extending these slightly. So there's this push pin and then this push pin, and if you remove both, you can get enough slack to come over to the extra center console. It's gonna be a little bit of work. Yours is probably gonna be in the center here, but because I've got this old school CD player, I actually am gonna have to try to get over to here. So opposite side, but I'm gonna see if I can make it work and extend them over to here to get this media hub working. Okay, so I think I figured out my issue is somehow I ended up with a, obviously these parts are all used, but this is a 4th gen rear bracket, and I can't slide it forward because this portion at the back is getting into it. So what I'm going to try to do is, I could obviously order this, but if you guys end up in some similar scenario, or maybe you're going to try and install a 5th gen console in your 4th gen, I think it's the rear portion here that's not allowing it to slide forward. So I'm going to take out a bit of material there. If you look at the bolt holes here on the 5th gen bracket, they pretty much line up right with the holes that go in the floor, and there's not a whole lot of material on this side. So I think if I remove some of this, should be able to, at least for now, get it bolted into place until I decide to put the right bracket, or forget about it. Who knows? We'll find out. Let me try my modification. Okay, so that's my modification, essentially from there over to where the hump starts. Cut that section out, and it should allow us to slide it forward. All right, so that modification allowed me to slide the console forward and get the bolt hole perfectly lined up, as you can see there. So for some reason you end up in that pickle. That's the modification to a 4th gen bracket to make it fit a 5th gen. All right, so also I was able to free up quite a bit of this cable and get these to reach over to this side. So if you end up getting the one with CD player, if you take off some of the tape that bundles them all together over there, you can reroute this. I had to go over this cross brace here, and then it would fit right across, and it actually reaches. You kind of have to get in here with your fingers to connect them, but it does work, and then it slides forward. And then the other one, like I said, we swung the cable from here over to there, and that reaches. No other purchases necessary. Okay, so here's the center console. Bolts are in, and then the little plugs that go there, and then there's these little trim pieces here. So this one goes here, and then that clicks into place right there like that. So that closes that piece out. Let's do the other side. And then here's this one, same deal. Fits in here like so. And then clicks in just like that. And there we go. So center console is now installed. I'm gonna wait till I get my seats back in. I also have to film that video for you guys, but let me get the seats in. If you're curious on the seats, I will put that video up above here. Go check out that video, but I don't want to power it up until I have everything back connected, and then we'll see how our center console functions. All right, so here we are, and I just want to give you guys a quick overview of the center console. So this portion works. So plugging it in there, the media hub all works. So everything there works as you would expect. Only thing is, I don't know, I haven't tried the auxiliary cable. I don't know if you guys would even care about that, but I haven't tried that. As far as our wireless charging pad, that's not working at the moment. Surprisingly, I just, before I picked up the camera, I hit the eject button and it spit out this CD, which I don't even know what this is. Kale Dodds. You guys know what this is? I've never even heard of that artist, but it spit it out, but it won't accept a CD again, so I don't know what's going on there. Over here in the back, I've got heated seat functions here that you can see, and I don't think this media hub is working. And then we've got our outlet here. I haven't tested it, but I don't assume that it would work because they're gonna need another module to make that thing work. But I do have heated seats back here, heated and cooled seats, and these buttons don't work yet, so we're gonna need additional wiring for that to function. But yeah, overall, huge upgrade. If you guys look around the truck, you're gonna see a lot more upgrades. We've got our limited steering wheel, heated steering wheel that we added. We've got our premium cluster that we added, the limited door cards, all that stuff, headliner, premium overhead console, heated and cooled seats that we added also, so lots of upgrades. I just wanted to keep this video straightforward and kind of basic for you guys. If you guys find one of these consoles on Marketplace, that way you can go ahead, pick it up, and get it into your truck without having to break the bank and buy a bunch of extra harnesses and stuff like that, so you can get it to work. If you guys want all these extra features to work, I'm gonna be working on that and working through it. There's really not a whole lot of information out there, so keep you guys up to date as I get the additional features and functions working on this, but it's kind of cool to see that you can get it working. As for the bracket, you'll notice that it's kind of the cards that I was dealt with, the rear bracket for the console. I had to make that modification for it to work. I thought it was the correct one, but obviously it wasn't, but you can get it to work if you make that modification. And or if you have a 4th gen and you want to upgrade to a 5th gen console, you can use the rear portion of the bracket as you saw there. So pretty cool, it works that way. Also head over to shopbooze.com. I got a lot of parts, products, services for you guys, so support your boy. Head over there and check out the other videos. We've got a ton of upgrades for these 5th gen trucks, and we've been doing probably like 10 years of 4th gen. So if you got a 4th gen truck, got a lot of videos for you there also. So hit the thumbs up for me, support your boy, check out the other videos, subscribe, we'll see you guys on the next video.